the world going on out here?
All these people are here for the merch, but we're sold out.
They're here for the merch?
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's amazing. The merch is amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
The merch is amazing.
When times get tough, you need to get found. No need to look backward. Put your feet on the ground. Stand up. Stand up.
Welcome to the TheFallenState. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Don't forget to help us fight censorship by hitting the thumb up, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. I have with me today stand-up comic Graham Elwood. He is the host of the YouTube show and podcast, The Political Vigilante, right?
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
When kind of researching on you last night, that you were a comedian first, as I just read, but you decided to become a YouTube podcaster. Why did you decide to change?
You know, I still do stand-up comedy, but I decided to go into, it was after the election in 2016, and I saw everything that happened. I saw the corruption of the DNC in their own primary. I was not happy with the result of Trump winning, but I blame the Democratic Party for letting that happen. I just saw the whole system as being corrupt.
Right.
And I was talking to my friend Jimmy Dore, who'd been doing his show for a long time, and he said, "How's your condo in Santa Monica?" And I told him my whole story of losing it, mainly as a result of Obama letting the banks take it from me.
Beta male.
Yeah. So, Jimmy said, "Hey man, you got something to say,
Yeah.
and you should start talking about it." So I did. And I just started very simply talking into my iPhone, literally sitting at my breakfast table reading the LA Times. That's how the show started 2.5 years ago. So I just...
And so what was it like losing it? Was it hard for you losing your condo?
Yeah, it was my retirement. So I've been working in show business since, I've been living in Los Angeles over 20 years. So I did over 300 episodes of TV. And I bought a little house in the valley. It appreciated in value. And I then moved down to the beach in a better area. And I was like, this is going to be my retirement. Right. So it'll weather, the ups and downs of show business. I'll have this piece of real estate. And losing it was brutal. I mean, it was like, it really, I didn't tell people for a long time. And when I first started doing my show and Jimmy would have me on his show, he would always like push me to tell the story. I didn't like telling. I felt embarrassed. I felt like a loser, a failure.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not that good, maybe whatever. And telling the story and then seeing more research, like Dave Dane doing his book Chain of Title, showing me what really went on. And I took the disappointment and the sense of failure and focused it into outrage and what can I do about it. And telling my story, and every time I tell my story I get two reactions. One, that happened to me or my mom or dad or something, somebody telling me a similar story.
Yeah.
Or two, boy, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I thought all that stimulus money helped people. And I'm like, no.
No.
No, it did not.
No, not at all. So did you vote for the fallen Messiah?
Well, Trump just called himself God, so I don't know if it was him or are you talking about Obama?
Obama.
Oh yeah, I voted for Obama twice. Yeah.
So you got what you deserved then.
I took the man at his word. I thought he was going to be like a new FDR.
But after the first 4 years, you knew he were not what he said, right?
Right.
What made you vote for him the second time around?
I think I bought into that lesser of two evils thing against Mitt Romney, which is shocking because I look back on my own voting history and I voted for Bill Clinton in 92, and in 96 I said, no way. And I voted for a third party candidate.
Right.
And I wish I would have done that in 2012. One of the motivations for my show is I felt like I'm mad at myself for not speaking up sooner.
Yeah.
Losing my home and then watching him drone strike the Middle East.
Yeah.
And talking to my friends saying, if Bush was he's dropping more bombs than Bush.
Right.
Tell me how he's better.
Yeah.
And so it's a big motivational thing of I don't know that I would put it in the terms that you just put it in if I got what I deserve, but I definitely felt like it's more of my responsibility to speak up more and show that the whole system is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Goldman Sachs has been in every presidential cabinet since Reagan.
Amazing. So do you agree that Obama is a beta male? Beta male.
A beta male?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that term means. What do you mean?
You never heard beta male?
No.
Really? I'll tell you as we move forward.
Okay.
Is it true that you are a progressive?
Yes, sir.
And what is a progressive?
For me, now that term has been co-opted since 2016. Everyone's calling themselves a progressive, just like someone puts eco on something and you're supposed to lead to believe that it's good for the environment when it is not.
Right.
It's like someone saying coexist on their Prius and they flip you off in traffic. It's about like that. So for me, a progressive is $15 an hour minimum wage, Medicare for all, free college tuition, and ending all of these ridiculous wars and a Green New Deal.
Amazing. And so how did you become an aggressive, or have you always been one?
You know, I've always been pretty left, but I think I've been watching what's happening and watching two things. One, you know, I just say Trump is the most vulgar version of what every president has ever done. You know, when everyone got all mad at the Muslim ban, I said, well, yeah, that was bad, but so when Obama was bombing the Muslims in the Middle East, that we were cool with?
Amazing.
You know?
Yep.
And they're like, and everybody we got to impeach Trump. I say, okay, so we'll have Pence in there. His tweets will be polite. I go, when Obama dropped 26,171 bombs, his tweets were polite.
Yeah.
I said, so I just feel like I'm going to just keep calling out the whole ridiculous system. I say on my show, there's not two parties, there's two classes. There's the ruling class and everybody else. And everything else is just professional wrestling.
So you say you've always been a progressive?
Yes, but I've been pushed more to the left. In watching things go this way, it makes me want to go even harder left.
But that's even worse than a progressive then, right?
Not in my opinion.
No, because they have that, there's this like baddie woman who is I think her name Cortez out of New York.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah, isn't she like way past progressive? She went so deep, she went past hell.
Well, I guess this is
She went past Satan and saying like, where are you going? You're home now.
I don't agree with that at all.
Would you agree with her?
I agree with a lot of her policies because here's the thing you got to understand. Yeah, because look, people like.
But she like look crazy.
I think she's fed up.
What?
I think she's just fed up because look, we live in the richest country in the history of the world.
Would you marry her? See there?
Yes.
You would marry her?
Well, I don't know if I want to get married again. I've been divorced.
Would you close your eyes at night while she's in bed?
Yeah, I don't think she's evil. I don't think she's evil. I think she's seeing the injustices of late stage capitalism. And we live in the richest country in the history of the world, and we're always told when we want something good, how are we going to pay for it? Nobody asks, how are we going to pay for all these 9 wars that we're in? How are we going to pay for this new bomber? How are we going to pay for this?
Why doesn't she give up all her capitalist stuff? Her airplane, her money,
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
her travel expenses.
She doesn't have.
And her guy was just caught. One of the guys that worked on her campaign was caught doing something with money. I don't remember what.
Okay, but she's not wealthy. She was waiting tables and she lives in the Bronx.
Well, they need to put her back in the kitchen.
Well, that I don't agree with.
She was quieter in the kitchen. Don't you think?
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
No? So let me ask, so real men are not progressive men. They're more conservative, logical thinking men. Why is it that? How did you become an illogical, progressive
Well, I don't
male?
agree with your question. So now you're framing a question saying that you're saying I'm illogical because I'm progressive.
But you do agree real men are logical and progressive people are illogical, right?
No, I don't agree with that
But
statement.
progressive means you don't know what you want, you're confused about things, you're up and down emotionally and mentally.
I don't agree with that statement at all.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't agree with that.
Why
statement.
not?
Because it's not accurate. You're simplifying political and social ideologies into either this or that. So I think human beings are highly complex, and so that's just to say. So any man that's a conservative, that generalization is just as is off and ridiculous as a left-leaning person go, oh, all conservative guys, they're all racist, gun-toting Jesus freaks.
But they are.
All right, you're just being, all right, we're just trying to get a lot of likes on this video. Is that what we're trying to do?
But in all seriousness, you don't see real men being a progressive person.
Well, you and I must have
more of a woman's nature than a man's nature.
Well, see, then your definition of real man and mine might be completely different.
What is a real man?
To me, it's a whole man. He can be strong. He can show his sensitivity. He can.
Sensitivity?
Yeah.
Where do you get that from?
Where do I get that from?
Where
Being
would a
human
real
being.
man get sensitivity from? That's the nature of a woman.
Well, I don't agree with that. So
Why
you don't
not?
have sensitive feelings. You don't watch something and it doesn't make you cry. If something hurts your feelings, you don't express it. You feel like you got to stuff that down. I don't.
Really? Was your father a sensitive man?
Kinda. He was pretty angry.
And did you identify more with him or your mother?
I identified more with him. I mean, I played football. I did all those like man things. I study martial arts, but I don't understand this need to everyone's got to be shoehorned into these simple categories. I don't get it, because I've met too many people all over the world that break down all of these typical classifications or stereotypes.
What's the difference between a man and a woman?
Well, the obvious one.
Besides the physical part, they're changing that now. They're trying to take off the women part and put on men part. You notice that?
Yeah.
So the man must have something going on that even men don't realize. But what's the difference between a man and a woman, other than the physical part?
Well, I mean, there's physiological stuff that we can get into, but also, why does everything have to be defined as either this or that? It's the same definition of like, so you're a black conservative, correct? Well, a black man should be a liberal, a Democrat, correct?
I used to be one, but God forgave me.
Right. So you've broken a cultural or social norm. So why does a definition of a man have to be either this or that? Why can't it be? I study martial arts. If anyone came at me, I'd drop them. And also, I can cry pretty easily because I'm a sensitive dude.
You are?
Yeah.
Does your wife know that?
I don't have a wife.
Well, no wonder.
Oh, that's it. I cry too much.
So what's the difference between a man and a woman?
Again, you keep wanting me to give you it's
Are you
either
saying
this
there
or...
is no difference?
Well, of course there's a difference.
Other than the physical part, what is the
Sure,
difference?
men have testosterone, which can make them more aggressive. Women have hormones and chemicals in their body that can make them more emotional, but that's not to say that men can't. I think the problem is people living out in these cultural extremes. I think we tell young girls, always be nice, always be sweet, and they're never allowed to be angry or aggressive or anything like that, and if they do, we call them crazy. And then we tell little boys, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, and then we wonder why we have toxic masculinity.
What's toxic masculinity?
Oh, toxic masculinity is being like overly male. Everything's got to either be...
You can't be overly male. Either you're male or not. You cannot be overly male.
I think you can. I think you can be too aggressive, like a meathead, like a big fighty meathead. Because that man doesn't know how to express his other sensitive emotions, so the only thing he has is fighting
But
or
a man
anger.
that is sensitive is a woman.
No, that's ridiculous.
So what
So
happened?
your definition of a man is a strength?
You were married at one point, right?
Yes, sir.
So when your wife woke up mad about nothing, carrying on, taking it out on you, if you are sensitive, how were you able to handle that?
Well, first of all, you love the loaded question.
What do you
So
mean?
you load up the questions.
How's that
dude.
loaded?
Come on. All right, then you're going to ask a question about the question. So, all right, got it.
But how did you handle her when she woke up just crazy about nothing?
I don't remember any times where my wife woke up crazy about nothing.
She had to, otherwise you would be with her now.
No, one of the things that was not easy for her, well, we came from different cultures. She was Brazilian, I was American, so that was a challenge. And I was also going through trying to save my house. I'm not blaming my divorce on the foreclosure, but it sure didn't make it easy.
Yeah. So when you lost your house, you lost her too?
Not necessarily, but financial stress exacerbates any other stresses you're having in your life, any other relationships, work relationships, anything. It made everything stressful.
Was it your choice to divorce or hers?
It was mine.
And so did you want to divorce because you were stressed out behind the financial issues?
There was a lot of stuff. It was like not feeling supported, or there was some, there was communication stuff, and part of that is just you're talking about a language barrier. Even though I spoke some Portuguese and she spoke English far better than I spoke Portuguese, it still made it, there's just cultural differences.
Why did you marry her then?
Well, we fell in love.
You fell in love with someone you could even communicate with because of the language barrier? Which y'all gave hand signs?
Have you ever been to Brazil?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to Brazil, you'll come back with a different attitude.
Well, I know they have not beautiful women there.
A lot of beautiful women.
And so you married her because you're beautiful?
Yeah, we got along. A lot of things were great, but I think I maybe, I'm an artist and sensitive. In your definition, that means I'm not a real man, which I don't agree with.
Don't let another woman know you're sensitive. They're going to beat you up.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
No, women hate sensitive men.
So so there's 3.5 billion women in the world, and all of them feel the same way.
All of them. They hate.
All black people are gangbangers.
Almost. Thank you. I didn't know you were going to admit to that. But
I don't agree with that. I'm just calling out your nonsense.
But listen. But women hate weak men, and for a man to be sensitive, now
some women do. I don't. Yeah, I just don't agree with that.
I guarantee you have never met, and you will never meet a woman that loves a sensitive man. They'll say they do to draw you in, and then they'll wipe the floor with you.
Dude, I'm sorry you've had a lot of women mistreat you, but that don't lump me into that category, my friend. I'm real sorry.
Do you have children?
No, sir.
Oh, thank God.
I know.
You'll be having sensitive children.
Oh no, what if I had sensitive children? What if I had a young boy that was like sensitive and caring, and he wasn't a meathead that fought everybody?
He'll get beat up going to school.
No, he wouldn't.
Home.
He'd know martial arts like me. Anybody calls me sensitive or wants to come at me, you can make fun of me all you want. Someone tries to put their hands on me, I'm going to feed it to them. And then I'm going to feel bad.
But don't let the women know that.
What? Don't let women know that I'm a martial artist?
Right. They don't want you to be an alpha male. They want you to be a beta male. A sensitive male. So, one last thing about that. In being sensitive, are you saying sometimes you feel like a man and sometimes you feel like a woman?
No, I'm saying, here's the thing. I'll say this. The men who feel like, and we're conditioned to feel like being sensitive makes us weak or strong, or I don't want to show my weakness. So the fact that I'm not afraid to show my weakness or my sensitivity or my vulnerability means I'm actually stronger and more of a man than anybody.
Amazing. And so I've never heard of anyone conditioning you to be a man. Who conditioned you to be sensitive? Because men are not conditioned to be strong. They're naturally that way. They're born that way. They're created that way. Nobody told me to be strong, to be a man. It's in me to be that way. Who told
But somebody
you
told you when you were crying as a little child to shut up, don't cry. That somebody conditioned you to be that way, to think that is a form of weakness when it isn't.
They would
Correct? Though you didn't answer
okay. Right. But they also say that to my sisters too. Stop whining. Stand up. Don't whine. It's a weakness. It's a sign of weakness. So what you're saying, the sensitivity of a man or a woman is a weakness.
You're saying that. I just told you I do not think that. So we need to just kind of agree to disagree here, friend, because I don't agree with you.
Amazing. What would happen to you if you became a real man? What do you think would happen to you?
Well, I am a real man.
I mean,
not by your definition, but by mine. So,
a sensitive man. What would happen to you if one?
Well, I can tell you what would happen. I would be in more fights. I would be in more trouble. I went to jail when I was this. This is toxic masculinity. Your definition of a real man is what I define as toxic masculinity.
I've never been in jail.
I stuffed. You're asking me my question. How would I react, Jesse?
Yeah.
I stuffed it down, and then everything was a fight. Everything was a fight, and I started studying Buddhism and martial arts. And I realized that victory comes with the sword still in the scabbard. So any guy that was challenging me, I got scars. I spent nights in jail. So,
but I've never been in jail all my life, and I had one fight in my life.
So you're not a real man then. If you haven't gotten in a lot of fights, you're not a real man.
A real man know how to deal with issues without fighting. A sensitive man end up in fights.
I don't agree.
Okay. So I read that you voted for this Jill Stein in 2016.
Yes, sir.
Why?
Why? So my choices were Trump or Hillary Clinton, another criminal. So the two main criminals of the ruling class. They're all friends, by the way. Now we know they're all hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. Then there was Gary Johnson of the Libertarian Party. The Libertarians are usually just disenfranchised, wealthy Republicans. I've never met like a poor working class person that became a Libertarian.
Well, you better hope you never meet one.
Yeah, because they don't exist.
Right.
And then, and I like the Green Party platform because the reality is if we don't fix the environment, we're all dead.
You really believe that this whole Green New Deal thing, you believe in that too?
Yes, sir.
So I know that Cortez woman run around like a mad, whatever, pushing that. I noticed that when she traveled, she still traveled by plane and all that airplane. So if she really believes in the Green New Deal, why doesn't she take a mule or walk to where she's going? Why doesn't she show what she believes first rather than enjoying it and then complaining about it?
Well, she doesn't ride on private jets, so she just can barely
Why
afford
does she take a jet, period? She need to walk over there.
So how are we supposed
Or
to?
take a
So
mule.
we're all born into this society. So how do we change it?
By first becoming an example of the change that you want.
Oh, okay.
And so she should, if she's really an honest woman and mean what she says, rather than try to manipulate and control, why does she take a mule? I used to take a wagon to town.
How many women cheated on you growing up?
No,
man?
no, I'm
How
asking-
many women lied and
No,
cheated
why
you?
does she take a mule to be the example of what she's...
Well, you know that's a ridiculous thing.
Why?
Look at our
Not
society.
any more than a Green New Deal thing. That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
But why doesn't she take a mule?
Why doesn't she take a mule? Do you see a lot of mule stables? Do you see a lot of blacksmiths on this street here? Do you see that?
She could-
Where? Show
I don't, but she could...
But where are they? Where are the mules and the blacksmiths for us to take?
Well, she could start
On every
building,
corner, there's a gas station.
She could start building those things. She can ride the mule there, hitch it to a tree or something until she get a stable built.
Okay.
But why does
so it's either airplane or mule.
Why doesn't she set the example?
She's trying to set the example
She's
by acting.
haven't set one.
I disagree. What she has done is she's not taking all of the corporate money that buys both political parties. She's
Not
voting
yet.
against. She's voting. Yeah, we'll see. She's voting against both her political party on a daily basis because people like Nancy Pelosi, they're bought and paid for, and even so much so that they say we're going to resist Trump, and then 300 some Democrats said, yeah, Trump, you can have your border wall bill. And Ocasio-Cortez says, well, what's the point of having a control of Congress if we're not even going to vote against this president that we all claim to not like?
You for open borders?
We need some, I don't know that I'm for open borders, but we need something that isn't as inhumane as what's happening now. But again, people on the left scream about what Trump is doing, which is bad, but Obama deported 3 million people.
And
he
he
built
had
the
them in
cages.
cages,
Yeah,
too.
he did the cage thing too.
Why didn't they complain about the fallen Messiah they're doing with the Great White Hope?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
And so, do you believe, are you for a wall going up around the borders?
No,
You're not for a wall?
no.
Are you for the wall in Israel? Israel has a wall around it. Do you support that?
No, there's a lot of problems. Israel is really abusing its power, and it has put Palestine in an apartheid state.
They need to be there. Believe me.
I don't agree with that.
So you're not for the wall around Israel or the United States?
No.
Why not?
How many walls did Jesus build?
I lost the count.
Oh, he had a lot of walls built?
Believe me. But he had the wall of truth. You know what I'm saying? And that was thicker than the walls of lies. And so you're not for the wall, meaning then that you want an open border.
There has to be a better solution than what this is now. This is inhumane. First of all, what I would do, we got to stop sanctioning all these countries. We sanction these countries, which is a form of warfare. We create more refugees. We're like, whoa, these refugees. Well, here's an idea. Don't sanction the country, which causes poverty and creates people wanting to leave. Don't bomb that country, which causes people absolutely wanting to leave. So if we stop sanctioning and bombing, which we're using our own tax dollars to do, we'll have less refugees to begin with.
But how about, and put the wall up and keep the rest of them out?
Well, first of all, they wouldn't want to come here if we made sure life in their country wasn't
But
horrifying.
it's not our responsibility to make
Well, we're making it worse
their
right now.
life work.
No, we are making it worse. Our sanctions and our wars make people's lives worse.
Well, now we have no other choice because they're invading us.
No.
And we need to make them stop invading
We're
us.
creating this situation.
No.
No. We're creating this
No,
situation.
I was born at night, but not last night. We are not making it worse.
Oh, really? So
No.
you think sanctions are a good thing? You think when people don't have, when we're like
Absolutely.
in Venezuela, which is the #1 oil reserves in the world,
Right.
that's why we want to go there.
Because look at the people in poverty as a result of the government over there.
And then we sanction it to make it even worse. We
No,
compound
to
the
make
problem.
them treat the people fairly.
No. They treat
And
the
then
people
to
worse.
force the people to stand up and fight back.
You need to do a little research on the CIA. Because anytime there's a country that has natural resources that we want and they won't give them to us, Venezuela will not give us their oil. They want to nationalize it and give the profits to their own citizens, which is a good thing. When they say no, then we come in and say, oh, you're out.
But that's not true.
Well, oh my, what?
No.
What are you sure you didn't born last night? We've been
I'm
doing
sure.
this since the 40s. The
Let me-
CIA did this to Mossadegh in Iran.
But let me do this because of time.
Okay.
I know you're going to agree with me on this one. You might not agree with anything else, but you will agree that this whole idea of climate change is just a way for them to steal our freedom. They want to control us.
I don't agree. The way they've already stolen our freedom is through making us a surveillance state, which George Bush did and then Obama expanded on. You got to look at what the intelligence community and the deep state has done. So climate change, so there's the
It's
oil
not
lobby.
real, though. It's just, this whole idea, it's hard for me to even discuss it with you because it's like discussing something that they're trying to make up. And then what it would do is have a conversation. It'll have a conversation with a group of people like those people that is totally insane. It would
But
be
what-
like
so
trying to,
what are they making up
It would
to
be
this-
like trying to convince my wife, if I had one, that she was sane. And I know that she's insane.
Right. So what are they making up? Are they making up the satellite photos that show the polar ice caps melting, the rising sea levels, the extinction event, the climate
But
refugees?
they can't do anything about that.
Oh, really?
The earth has always been in control of the earth since
Okay. So in the five-
mankind.
So
and things
the
in
cyclical
climate is
argument, yeah.
always changing.
There's
and
5
things are always happening.
islands of floating garbage.
And?
Who created that?
I mean, we need to keep the earth clean as possible, but we don't need a crazy, nutty woman like Cortez trying to tell us how to do it. She can't even run her own life.
Yeah, that I don't agree on that. There's the evidence. So
The
97.
woman is living with a man that she's not even married to.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's.
Now, would you want a woman telling you what to do if she's living with a man that she's not even married to?
Yeah, I don't care.
Would you want a woman like that telling you, a sensitive man, what to do?
She's not this. She's
Would
a
you want that?
politician.
No, would you want her telling you what to do, though?
I don't want anyone telling me what to do.
Especially her, right?
Well, all right. You're trying to box me into a
No,
thing.
I'm not
like,
trying- I'm just
yeah,
asking you.
Come on, dude. You've
I'm
been
just
doing
asking
this
you
the
a
whole-
man-to-man question. Would you want a nutty woman like that who's living with a man that she's not married to telling you what to do?
No, you're bringing this question up because I pointed out the fact that climate change is not cyclical. It's happening right now.
That's
People
not why
are
I'm
dying.
bringing this up.
Yeah, you are.
No,
You didn't
I'm
answer
not.
my question.
What?
You answer questions with a question. So that's how I know you're not answering
But you're
my
my
question.
guest. So what do you say? Would you want a woman like that telling you what to do when she's living with a man and not married to?
Yeah, if I agree with her positions, I don't care what her personal life is.
You are sensitive.
I want what's right.
Are you going to cry before this is over?
I don't know. If I do, I might swing too.
Ooh.
I know, right?
I know karate.
No, you don't.
I know judo.
No, you don't.
I know Joe.
No, you don't.
Okay. What do you think about these 4 radical women in Congress, Omar, Cortez, Tlaib, and Presley?
No, I think they're actually breaking the. We have a kleptocracy run by oligarchs. Okay, there's the 1%, and they run and control everything. And so the Republican Party's owned by like the NRA. The Democrats are owned by AIPAC. Both parties are controlled by the oil lobby and the big pharmaceutical companies and the banks.
And so for those reasons, you're going to go and agree with 4 insane, illogical, just nutty women
I don't think
because
they're
you
insane.
don't agree with these things?
I don't think. Well, you're presupposing that I agree with you. I do not agree with you that they're insane, nutty women. I think they're
You
bringing.
think they're sane?
Yeah, I think they're bringing up really good.
Do you smoke pot?
No, I'm sober.
Well, you probably need to smoke some.
Well, so you don't. So if you think they're insane, so you think what? Mitch McConnell and Donald Trump are sane men?
Wait until I get to that.
Oh,
I got
man.
good news for you about that. There's this woman, Representative Presley. Presley, I'm sorry.
Okay.
She's one of the nutcases. She said that they don't need brown people who don't want to be a brown voice. Is that progressive? Meaning that all brown people got to act and say what they do. If not, they don't need them.
No, it's not. That's identity politics, and that's by design to keep the left divided.
Is that evil for her to say that?
I don't know if it's evil, but it's definitely identity. Identity politics has been very successful at keeping the left divided.
Is that insane for her to say that?
As I've said now for the third time, no.
Are you happy that Israel denied entrance to Omar, Representative Omar and Tlaib?
It shows the hypocrisy of America that if another country were to deny two other, like let's say Russia denied Mitch McConnell and Susan Collins entry into Russia, everyone would be up in arms. How can they do that? They're a crazy state, but Israel does it and we're like, good for them. It just shows how Israel, AIPAC controls us. They own us. You
And
follow
so
the money.
if
So if you follow
someone-
the money, you can see who controls what.
If you knew that someone was your enemy before they came into your home, it's clear that Omar and Tlaib are the enemies of America and of Israel.
Do you know what it-
know that in advance, right?
Sure.
And so knowing that, and then they want to come into your home, would you let them in?
They're Congress. They're Congress. They're
Would
representative
you
of the United
let them
States.
in first? Then I want to.
Well, let me ask you this. According to this thing, because I think I know your answer to this, right? So
Right.
you wouldn't let them in, correct? Of hell no, hell no, no way. Okay. So you know
Would
who
you?
the know who the CIA head of the CIA?
No, that's not
no, answer my, I'm gonna, answer my,
no. Then I will respond to your question.
Okay.
Would you let your enemy in if you know in advance that they're your enemy? Would you let them into your home?
I would try to make them. Let's sit down and talk reasonably.
Would you let them into your home if you knew they were your enemies before?
If the head of the CIA said,
Listen.
listen.
I ain't asked about no CIA. Would you let the enemy into your home knowing that they're your enemy?
Yeah, I answered your question and then you ask it the second
Would you
time.
say yes or no?
I said yes.
You
I said,
would?
Yeah, I try to reason with them.
You are sensitive.
It's the
Only a
it's the
woman would do that.
No, it's the code of the samurai. You need to study samurai code. Victory comes with the sword.
Is
still with the scabbard.
samurai sensitive too?
Yeah, they
Well,
were
you better drop
calligraphers.
samurai.
Well, they also had swords. They were trained killers.
Well, he wasn't
Let
doing
me-
anything with them.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
You don't know anything about samurai history.
Well, it sounds like he's sensitive.
Let me ask you this question. If the head of the CIA, the former head of the CIA said, you know who the number 3 the threat to America is, who the number 3 violator of us on a cyber level, and the number 3 country, there's Russia and China, are the first 2 countries that send the most spies and the most cyber attacks. Do you know who number 3 is? Israel.
Right? And your point is what?
Well then would you invite Israel into this country?
If I saw Israel as my enemy and I knew that in advance, no, I wouldn't let him in.
Okay, but the CIA has just
But
said they're the
unlike
third
you,
worst
you
enemy
would
we
let
have.
your enemy
The
in.
CIA said Israel is the third worst enemy we have, and you're letting them in.
No, the question is, if I knew that it was
Well, I'm
my
telling
enemy.
you, the
Bill,
CIA
come and fix
knows.
my mic. So the answer is no. I would if I knew that the CIA was right,
But
that Israel or anybody was my
the CIA
enemy,
has said this.
and I knew that they were my enemy, I would let my enemy in my home. But
then
you're
we know
saying
this.
yes, you would.
But no,
so would
so
you
that-
let Israel in, knowing that they're your enemy?
No.
But you would let Ilhan Omar
Yeah.
in.
What's the threat? She doesn't agree with me? What's
She's
her
your
threat?
enemy.
But she doesn't have Mossad. She's just one congresswoman that has beliefs. If she's just one person that
That's
didn't have
amazing to hear you say that.
Well, so Mossad is tied into Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein and the CIA. So the Mossad is part of a international sex
And
trafficking
what does
pedophile.
that have
So they're
to
pure
do with
evil.
knowing your enemy before you let them in?
they're the
still let them
enemy.
in. But I'm saying that
They're
if I
more of
knew-
the enemy than one
if I knew-
congresswoman
and
that
you
has
may
a
or may
point
not
of
be
view.
right? But the question is, We know that Elian, Omar, and Talib are the enemies of America and of Israel.
I don't agree.
And I wouldn't let them in knowing that, but you said you would.
Well, I don't agree with, I don't think they're the enemy. They have, there's a lot of the views that I agree with, even if they had views. So then, do I think Mitch McConnell is the enemy? Would I not let him into my home?
Would you?
I would let Mitch McConnell into my home.
If you knew Mitch was your enemy, he spoke out against you in a negative way, saying things that are not true.
He has.
And he hates you, you would still let him in.
Yeah.
Because you're too sensitive not to let him
No,
in?
I'd eat him alive in a one-on-one conversation.
Amazing. Are you happy the way the Great White Hope dealt with Elian and Talib when Israel refused to let them in?
How's that, Trump?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, he's a jackass.
Who?
Donald Trump.
Why do you hate the Great White Hope so much?
Well, he's a 12-year-old girl has accused him of raping him there's that.
You believe that?
Yeah, he gave a
Wait,
1.5
Don't move too fast. I'm gonna let you name them all.
Okay.
So you believe that the 12-year-old girl who said he raped her?
Yeah.
You believe her?
Yes.
Do you have proof of it?
Do you have proof that it isn't?
No. Stay with me.
No.
Do you have
Can you
proof?
disprove it?
I neither believe it or prove or disagree, because I don't know. Why would you believe it without the proof? Because those women will do the same thing to you.
These are court documents.
As soon as you start being a real man, it's going to happen to you. But why would you believe it without proof?
Because there is. These women have testified, and not to mention
It's still hearsay.
So you think Bill Clinton?
No, let's stay with Trump.
Well, let's stay with powerful men.
Bill Clinton finally admitted he did what he did. So yes, I believe he did what he did. But other
talking
than
about
hearsay, you will believe in it. Why would you believe it without proof? Is that right to do?
Well, there's a lot of proof here. There's a lot of...
All you have is hearsay.
No.
One person talking.
One woman worked at Mar-a-Lago. He owns Mar-a-Lago. He's been on Jeffrey Epstein's plane.
Why would you believe a 12-year-old girl without proof about the president?
There's other corroborating evidence to prove
still
it.
No proof.
There's
Just
corroborating
hearsay.
evidence.
Still
Do you understand those words?
Still
Corroborating
hearsay.
and evidence. Well,
was he proven to be guilty of what they said?
they have enough evidence to where I think he's guilty.
Was he proven to be guilty of what they said?
There hasn't been a trial yet.
And so why would you believe it then?
Because there's enough evidence. Again, I feel like I keep answering the same
But
question.
you don't have any evidence. All you have is hearsay.
It's not hearsay.
Do you think that's right?
For you to not understand the term corroborating
For you to
evidence?
believe-
No, I don't think it's right
corroborated
that you
means
don't
some other
understand
stupid woman
words
said
and you
the
keep
same
talking over me asking the same question.
But all you're saying is some other woman came out of hell and said the same thing. So now they're
2,000 documents became unsealed August 9th. In there, it shows all of the people that are guilty involved in this Epstein thing. It's going to get covered up because the ruling class is going to cover this up. But in it is evidence against Bill Richardson, evidence against Dershowitz, Bill Clinton,
We're talking
Trump.
about the Great White Hope.
Yeah, I'm saying all of them. He's part of it. He's
But
part of the
that's
ruling
amazing
class.
that you would believe any of against any of those guys without proof. Women would say anything, especially when they get mad at you, don't like you.
I think
Or they can't control you. They'll make up a lie and feel nothing about it.
there's enough.
Am I right?
Can we keep track of how many times I'm saying corroborating evidence? Is that a 10? So
But that's
there's
not a reason to believe it.
corroborating evidence
It's
for
not
me.
a reason to believe it.
You need to talk to some investigators and prosecutors, and they will say otherwise.
How about innocent until proven guilty?
Sure, but let's
you don't
prosecute
seem to
them.
go for that.
I don't understand why you're putting words in my mouth, but I think there's enough to show. Not to mention, let's go down the other thing. He said he was going to drain the swamp. He put in bankers. He put in ExxonMobil. He said, I'm going to help the working man. He gave a $1.5 trillion tax break to who? The rich, the wealthy.
Well, we got one too. I got one.
I didn't.
My employees got a tax break.
I didn't.
Maybe you weren't working at the time.
No, I'm working plenty.
But so you didn't get any tax break?
No.
No cut. Well, maybe they're ripping you off. You better talk to your boss.
Oh, I'm my own boss. People ripping me off with the
Oh,
IRS.
well, you'll get it when you file income tax.
Yeah, I didn't get any tax breaks.
Have you filed yet?
Yeah,
You did? Well, you're a liberal, right? Progressive.
I'm a progressive. Not
Well,
liberal.
you don't deserve it.
Oh,
Give it to the people.
Oh, like Trump did? He gave $1.5 trillion to his rich buddies. He didn't give anything to the people.
So you don't like the fact that he cut back on taxes. You don't like the fact that he deal with the enemies of goods. You don't like the fact that he's not afraid to speak up. You don't like internet.
So let me talk the way you talk. So you don't like these amazing women that have been ordained by God that are doing God's work, and you like the devil who's Donald Trump. So how do you rectify the fact that you only like evil that's at the behest of the corporate oligarchs?
None of those women have been ordained by God.
Oh no, yes
If they
have.
were ordained by God, I would have much respect for that.
So you-
The president has been, he stand up and deal with evil.
Okay, that's why he's bombing the world.
Should Antifa be labeled a terrorist group?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think definitely white nationalists should be.
They are white. So should they be labeled?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a white nationalist and Antifa?
That's a good question. I think the white nationalist seems to be more in line with what the Nazis were.
What do you mean? A white nationalist believe that?
They believe the white race is better.
It means that it's a white person who put the country first?
No, well, that's what they'll tell you, but when they wave the Nazi flag, I had two uncles that fought in World War II, so they're in line with an enemy of America, which was the Nazis in Germany. So they are clearly domestic terrorists if they're waving around the flag of a country that we fought against. My uncles fought Nazis. And these guys are going to do this salute and wave Nazi flags, and then some of them are Trump supporters? They should be domestic terrorists.
When Mexicans come into our country and are already here and they wave Mexican flags, are they Mexican Nazis?
Well, there was no Nazi party in Mexico to my knowledge.
But are they anti-America and hate people of color?
Well, so you know World War II, right? You know
right,
what
I understand
happened.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we fought the
but
Nazis
I'm asking
in
you a
World
different
War
question.
II.
Are you saying that they were
Well, you're
waving
trying
the flag?
to equate the Mexican flag with the Nazi flag, and I'm saying...
But they hate white people.
Oh, that's just... You're making a generalization about a whole country.
Not all, but most.
Okay.
In Mexico, have you ever gone there? They don't love white people, and black people are second-class citizens. So when they wave the Mexican flag here, are they Mexican Nazis?
Again, you're making all of these statements that I don't... You're asking me to answer a question based on statements that I don't agree with.
Amazing.
It's a loaded question. It's
are you white or Jewish?
I'm white.
And so you don't put your country first?
Yeah, that's why I'm so critical of it, because the men that founded this country were critical of it.
So are you a nationalist?
No.
And so if you're not a nationalist, how are you putting the country first?
By working for truth. I'm a truthist.
But if you're not a nationalist, how are you putting the country first? But when the truthless, whatever you said, when they put their country first?
I'm putting the truth first.
And the truth
so then maybe I'm not putting my country first.
Right, because the truth is you're putting your country first, right?
No, I'm actually putting the truth first.
What would happen to you if you should admit you're putting your country first and you're a white guy? What would happen to you?
Well, someone could label me whatever they want, and if you're trying to
Are you afraid of that?
I don't care.
Are you a white nationalist?
No.
Are you a white put your country first?
Am I a white? Why does white and put my country first have to be in the same sentence?
Because that's what they do to white people when they say they're a white nationalist. For some reason, they make it seem as though it's a negative thing because the person's white.
Well, the person that's out there espousing that the white race is better, their nation that they're putting first is the white race.
And that's wrong?
Well, it's offensive, and race is a construct. There's no such thing as...
Is that wrong?
There's...
I don't care about the offensive part. It's easy to offend liberals, right? But is that wrong?
Republican conservatives get offended so easy.
No,
They act
not
like
real
they're
conservative.
Well, yeah,
but is that wrong, though?
Is what wrong?
To put your country first, a white person putting the country first, and saying that we're for white people. Is that wrong?
Well, for the second part, I find that offensive. I think
Is
it's
it
wrong.
wrong?
Yeah, it
Not
is wrong.
offensive. It's wrong.
Here's wrong because there's no subsects in human DNA. So in the animal kingdom, you have a lion and a house cat as a subsect of DNA. So there's no such thing as race. Race is a construct.
Right. So
there's no such thing as African DNA or European DNA. The only reason I look this way is because my ancestors lived in a cold, rainy island
I
in the North
understand all
Atlantic.
that, but so you're saying yes, it's wrong when whites say that I'm a white person and put my country first and I'm for my people, white people. They're wrong.
Yeah.
And so when
You should
black
be for
people
all
say
people.
that, are they wrong?
You should be for all people.
How about black people? When they do and say the exact same thing, are they wrong?
Have white people been
How about
subjugated?
black people when they
Have
do?
white people been subjugated as much?
Yes, and especially now. But are black people wrong when they do and say the exact same word? Black power, Afro, mommy Africa, whatever. Are they wrong? They want a separate state from white folks. Are they wrong?
It's disappointing, but
Are they wrong?
Are they wrong?
Are they wrong?
Well, if you want to get into the same issue that I just said about race, I would like to sit down and
Why
go.
is it so easy to say yes, whites are wrong, but you can't say the blacks are wrong?
Because I understand white privilege as a white man. in
Are
this
they
country.
wrong when I'm asking? Is it wrong for the black people to do the same thing?
No.
Why is it wrong for the whites and it's not wrong for the blacks?
Because how many whites, if a cop pulled me over, if a cop pulled you over and a cop pulled me over, we would be treated differently.
Not true. How would you be treated? How would you be treated?
I'd be treated better. I've had it.
Better in what way?
I've had cops pull me over and I reach into my pocket or my bag and they're not suspicious. They don't put their hand on their gun.
And that's treating you better?
Yeah, not shooting me is better.
And that's because you're white?
I think a lot of it is.
And that's white privilege?
Some of it is.
So I got stopped by a cop recently because I was speeding. And he pulled me over. He asked for my ID. I reached into my pocket like this, just like I'm doing now. He couldn't even see because he was outside the car. He let me I pull out my ID. He didn't reach for a gun. He didn't say, "Sir, what are you doing?"
Okay.
He was polite because I was polite. I did the right thing. I didn't call him racist. I didn't say, "What
Sure.
you doing?" I didn't say, "Why are you stopping me?" I didn't say, "You're a racist." He treated me like a human being because I treated him like a human being. Could that be the issue?
I'm sure that's some of it.
Most of it. All of it.
But again, you simplify everything into it. Is this or it's that, and that's the problem. Is you simplify everything. It could would that
Because
help the
life is
situation?
simple.
Oh, okay, life is simple. All right.
You don't believe life is simple?
So there's no complexities in your life.
No.
None.
None.
Nothing's complex. Not your finances. Not running this business. Nothing here is
I'm
complex.
having a hoop nanny of a time.
I didn't say,
dealing with that.
I didn't say if you're
No,
having
it's
a good
not
time.
complex.
It's not. There's no
No.
complexities in your life. There's nothing in your
Situations
home.
come, but not complication.
Situations are complicated. So
No,
part
they're
of your
not.
life are complicated. So
Only
can you
if
answer the question? You
believe
can't
they're
answer the question. You
complicated.
can't.
The answer is no, they're not complicated.
There's no complications in your life.
None, zero.
When you got pulled over by the cop, that wasn't a complication.
No.
Got a problem, get a letter in the mail, it's complicated, you got to change something, the tax thing, somebody screwed something, no one screws anything up? Nothing ever gets complicated?
Yes,
complication.
but not complicated.
But that's a complication.
Situation.
No, it's a complicated
No,
situation.
situation.
So you don't even
Now,
understand the
for you
word
being in a
complication.
fallen state, it may be complicated for you. But when you come out of that fallen state, it's just a situation. Thank you. I thought so.
Thought what?
So?
So what? What are we arguing like 5-year-olds?
I noticed that progressive policies seem to be against freedom. Have you noticed that?
I don't agree with that at
It's
all.
all about controlling you. They want to give you free stuff. They want to offer you free health care, free
So
home care,
free health care is
everything.
controlling you.
That's how-
Explain to me how free health care is controlling you.
Because once they give you something, they got you.
Oh, and you think right now paying the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical bills. And you think that's so free having to file bankruptcy because I can't afford a basic human right.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
And let me tell you why that is. Because the government got it so where you're limited as to where you can buy health care. You can't cross state line. You can't do this and do that. They have restricted you.
Have you ever done any research into where money is spent? The healthcare lobby spends in both parties equally.
Well,
That's why we don't have free healthcare.
but if we have freedom to buy cross state line or whatever we want, they can do that. But they only doing it because men like you and Cortez and those women of color want free stuff.
No, it's a basic human right, and there's 22 countries
Oh,
in the
I
world.
just thought of something.
There's 22 countries in the world that have free healthcare.
You said you believe in white privilege, right? That doesn't mean that we should do it just because someone else is doing it.
But their quality of life is
But they're
better.
not an example for us.
So
The
there's
quality
10
of-
cities all over the place. You're happy with that? You think that's good?
That's the Democrats' fault.
Oh.
They need to send them back home.
Oh.
But let me ask you this.
What about American people that lost their homes in the 2008 crash, which was a result of
Good
Obama and
question.
Bush?
They voted for a Democrat.
Well, and Bush, but it
They
started
voted
under
for a
Bush.
Democrat.
The
It ended with
recession.
the fall of Messiah, though.
It was started
He
under
took
Bush.
them under.
Sure, he could have fixed it and didn't, but it
Yeah.
happened under Bush.
But
Do
yeah,
you think
you
there's a
vote for
difference
them.
between the two parties? Do you think Coke and Pepsi
I
are
think
different?
there's
Do you
a
think
different
professional
now,
wrestling
but
is
you're right
real?
about that. There's no difference between.
You think
the-
professional wrestling is real?
No, listen. There's no, I don't. There's no difference between the right-o Republicans and the godless Democrats. They're all the same, except that President Trump has taken it to a new level in that he loved the people. He put his country first. He's a nationalist.
No, he's a greedy capitalist.
I gotta ask you this.
He takes his own tax. He goes golfing on your tax dollars.
That's fine. Obama did it every day.
Yeah, but Obama never golfed. Trump.
Obama never golfed.
So when you see all these
Did
poor
you say
people, out
Obama
here-
never golfed?
never not the way Trump did.
Did
Trump,
you say he never golfed?
Yeah, I don't think. When did he golf?
He went to Martha Vineyard and everybody else vineyard.
But did he golf?
He tried. He golfed the black way. So let me do this. You say you believe in white privilege, right?
I don't believe in it, but I've seen it. I've seen it.
And have you had white privilege before?
Yeah.
Given white privilege.
Yeah.
Why weren't you given that when you lost your apartment then? Since you were white privilege,
Oh, right.
they should have said, this is a white man. He has the privilege to keep his place until he can pay or until he can
Sure.
do something else.
Well,
Why
that
did
level
they
of
give
white
you
privilege,
the white
no.
privilege
I didn't
then?
get it then because the banks control everything.
But you were white.
Right.
And they white,
The banks control everything.
but they white.
Right.
Why didn't they
So
give you white
again,
privilege?
we're getting into your like one term. You're gonna one size fits all. Like you took a vitamin, Graham. How come your knee hurts? Don't So if you're saying, I'm saying vitamins don't work. You're making these crazy equations.
you white
Listen to me now. Have I enjoyed white privilege throughout times in my life? Yes. Is it all the time? Of course not. I'm middle class. I'm not wealthy.
So-
the 1% enjoy it.
So sometimes they treat you like you're black.
Sure.
So you lose your white privilege card at times?
Again, the ruling class, the 1%, will
Are they
stick it-
white?
mostly, but not entirely. That's the thing.
Are
When
they
pe-
black too?
Some, yeah.
Yeah. So they take away your white privilege card?
I didn't say that. I said there's times I've enjoyed white privilege and I've seen it, and there's times I've gotten screwed over just like anyone else.
I got to move a little faster because of the time.
Okay.
You and I having so much fun. Time is gone. Who would be the Democratic candidate in 2020?
Well, who they want, the corporate Democrats, they'll want somebody that's like that'll be good for the oligarchs and the corporations, which will be somebody like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, or Elizabeth
man.
Warren.
Joe Biden doesn't have a chance. He's a white, straight male. They don't want straight white males. They want a woman of color. They need
Yeah.
a victim.
Well, I would like it to see Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard. That's who I'd like to see.
Bernie Sanders doesn't have a chance. He's a white, straight male.
Yeah, his policies resonate with more people because he
Yeah.
runs on a populist,
Right.
progressive platform.
Will the Great White Hope be re-elected in 2020?
If the Democrats put up a corporate Democrat, yeah, he'll win again.
4 more years, guaranteed.
Probably if the Democrats do the same crap that they did in 2016, Bernie Sanders could have been a candidate and he would have beaten Trump. There's polls where Sanders would beat Trump head to head.
I doubt
And they
that.
know this.
I doubt that. Do you love the Great White Hope?
Not at all.
You don't love him?
I don't, not at all. I think he's everything that's wrong with,
You hate him?
with America. Yeah, I mean, he's everything
You
that's wrong
hate
with
him?
is everything that's wrong with America.
You hate him? You hate him?
He's greedy. He was given $1 million by his dad. He's never worked a day in his life. He
So
doesn't
you're
understand the
jealous.
working class. He's a rich kid.
You're jealous of him.
I don't like the rich. I don't like the 1%.
Obama's rich. You
I don't like him either, man. He
So,
took my home.
You love Obama?
I just told you I do not like Obama. He took my home. I'm going to really need, if you're going to do interviews,
Are
you
you
got to
in
listen.
favor of gun control?
Yes,
You're in favor of gun control. How about
course.
universal health care?
absolutely.
Abortion. You in favor of abortion?
Someone having a choice over their own body. That's funny. The conservatives, you're all like, you're trying to take away my freedoms, but we should tell a woman what to do with her
Are you
body.
in favor of abortion?
Yeah, I just said that.
You support same-sex marriage?
Yeah.
Are you, is censorship a problem?
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Corporate censorship.
How about big tech? They are treated conservatives like they're second-class citizens. Do you support that? Like Google and all those guys.
Who?
Google.
Who's that
whatever
guy?
you call them. Are you in control? Do you support all that? This a discrimination against conservatives by big tech.
By what?
Big tech.
By big tech?
Google and
Oh, Google.
yeah. I'm black. I'm slow, so I know you don't understand.
That's all right. So
no, I'm slow. I'm black.
big tech is part of the problem because they are running the surveillance state. Look, the FBI, like the CIA, Facebook and Twitter are basically arms of the intelligence community.
Should they be broken up?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Let me ask, should black people get reparation?
I've read an interesting thing about American descendants of slavery, and their case is very compelling.
Should they get reparations?
Yes.
How about the Indians?
Yes, absolutely. Native Americans absolutely should.
How about the Mexicans?
No. I mean, they're not, they have their own country. They didn't have their land taken away.
How about the Mexicans' mama? No, I'm messing with you. What kind of reparations should they get?
You know, I did a video on this, and there was a website that I went to, and it's been several months. I would have to go through. They've laid out very well, in my opinion, and they're very clear, like, you have to be a descendant of slavery to get, and some of the reparations were like changing some of the laws and stuff like that. I'd have to go back and go through that website, but I agreed with it.
I don't know if you know or not, but I was born on a plantation in Alabama, and I grew up under the Jim Crow laws, colors only signs and all that. Black people were better off then than they are today because they had family, they had God in their lives, they didn't blame white people or anyone else for their problem, they owned land, they worked hard, they treated people the way they would like to be treated, and they were not begging and women and whining. So I totally disagree that they need reparations. Problem with them now is that their families are broken, they hate God, they are begging and whining and blaming, and they have white people on the run. So I totally disagree. I
think it's capitalism is designed to keep us all divided.
I think it's time to put you on the hot seat. It's time to
Oh, this has been cold up till now?
It's time to heat this up.
The hot seat.
So I need quick answers from you, all right?
Well, no,
Quickly as
no.
possible.
I'm not going to agree to that ahead of time
No,
because
this is
already
hot
your
seat.
90% of your questions are already loaded bullshit that I don't agree with. So I'm not going to just answer yes or no. You want to simplify stuff we already don't agree. You think you couldn't flat out admit that you have complications in your life because that would have undermined.
No,
the
I have
question.
situations, no complications.
Situations, but complicated situations.
No.
So there are complications in your life.
We
You
have
just
to
don't.
talk.
You just don't want to make
We
it
have
wrong.
to talk.
I think we just did.
Yeah. So quick answer as quickly as possible.
We'll see.
Should we be worried about overpopulation?
Yes.
Are black people better at dancing?
It would depend on the type of dance.
Do you love America?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a gay thought?
A gay thought. No, I've never had a gay thought.
Are American women oppressed?
No.
Will you celebrate White History with us? Every year, this is our second year, July is White History Month.
No.
Will you celebrate with us
No
next year?
way. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing a straight pride parade and shit like that.
I'm speaking at one this weekend.
Oh, have fun.
Are you straight?
Yeah.
Why aren't you proud?
Why do I need a parade? It was never illegal to be straight. It was illegal to be gay in this country. Gay men were arrested for being gay. They were going to
And now
gay
they
bars.
want to arrest you for being straight.
No, they don't.
Should manspreading be against the law?
Should what?
Manspreading.
Mansplaining?
No, spreading.
Manspreading?
You know how when men sit, they like to sit like this on the bus or on the airplane. Or,
Should be against the
they
law.
And the women want you to close your legs so they can have more room. Should that be against the law?
No, it shouldn't be against the law.
Is Melania Trump, what's her name, Melania?
Melania Trump.
Melania Trump beautiful?
Sure.
Is evolution a lie?
No, evolution's not a lie. I know, science, huh? That'll get you every time on the conservative side of town, right?
Who will win in a boxing match?
2 +
Trump-
2 isn't 4. 2 + 2 is Trump and guns.
Who will win in a boxing match, Trump or Bernie?
Oh, Bernie would knock him out. Trump's all coked up. He couldn't land a punch. He's always on blow. His eyes are all fried from being in the tanning salon. Bernie would just go, let me tell you something, and drop him.
What's your website?
GrahamElwood.com.
How do you listen to your podcast?
You can get it on iTunes, or you can go to YouTube. I'm not sure if your audience is going to really take to my show, but I appreciate you letting me plug it.
Did you have fun?
Kinda.
Thank you, man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Sure.
Thanks for coming on. And thank you all for tuning in. That was amazing. Let me hear from you. Don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, share, and Sonny, and ring my bell. Don't forget the merch. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Next time on The Fallen State.
You call yourself a Marxist.
Yeah.
You think that it's right for the Antifa people to dress in black, arm up with
What's wrong with
guns, knives, and wood and sticks, whatever they're doing, and go and attack a group of white men and women who are standing up for America?
I think the conversation would be a little bit different had they not killed a person and tried to kill others.
Are you talking about that stupid woman that drove into the Antifa?
No, a man drove into her.
Well, he was allegedly trying to get away from Antifa. Are you an Antifa person?
You know, I don't really go out and do that type of stuff, but I
Why
support
not?
them.
Why don't you do it?
I'm just busy. And there's not much of
You're
it
too
here.
busy to go and attack other white people who are standing up for America. Is it wrong?
No, I don't think it's wrong. I think they're good.
Are you dating a Mexican?
No.
What is she?
She is who she is.
What is she?
She is Pakistani.
What?
Yeah.
Allah Abba folks?
Yeah.
The Fallen State.
Don't wanna keep falling. I'm falling.
Thanks for watching The Fallen State. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.